Hi, and welcome to the Galt's Vaults. I'm your host, Kevin MacLean, here at the Galt Museum and Archives in Lethbridge, Alberta. By now, you're hearing a lot of familiar themes, some repeat words, words that include connection, meaning, memory, place, voice. And I'm going to add one more word to that, layering. What we do is we build layers around our objects. We work hard to capture distinctive voices, specific memories, photos of people, and we attach those things to our objects. We layer them for a specific reason, and that's because we want people to connect with the objects on their own terms. So we're building doors, we're building entryways, and we do that because we want people to see themselves reflected back, because so much of life is universal. It shouldn't come as a surprise that I connect with objects myself, but what will be a surprise is I don't connect with them as much on their physical level. What I connect with is my memories of my interactions with the donors and their stories. And in particular, I like stories that have mysteries. It's what brought me to the Galt. It's what got me excited about history. And sometimes those mysteries and those questions don't have answers, and you have to imagine the answer. And that's so much of the magic around stuff, is sometimes we just never know. So when I think of all the objects that are here at the Galt and mysteries, one particular object comes to mind, and that is this LCI jacket. It's so weird. It makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up, and it gives me chills to think about it. So imagine if when you were a youth, you had an object in your possession and you gave it up at some point when you were still young, and 50 years later, you moved to a different city and an entirely different country, and you find out that the object literally followed you there. So that's what we encountered back in 2008. This is a jacket that we bought off of eBay. And the seller told us that their father had bought it only a few years previous from a second-hand store in Kennewick, Washington State. Weeks later, we managed to get a hold of the original owner back in 1960, Mr. Kendall Russell, and he told us himself that he was resident in Kennewick, Washington State too.
At the same time this jacket was on eBay, they had my YMCA jacket from the same person with all the patches on it. I really have no idea how this ever ended up in Kennewick, Washington. I did contact the seller and asked her where she got the jackets. And she said her father bought them at a thrift store. But that still doesn't answer how they arrived at the thrift store.
So obviously we start to think, well, 1 + 1 = 2, but does it? Maybe not. Needless to say, this object still has my imagination in overdrive to this day. For the Galt's Vaults, I'm your host, Kevin MacLean. Be well, Lethbridge.